I feel I'm European. I'm a Remainer,
Okay.
absolute Remainer. As far as I'm concerned, there are no boundaries.
Are you a Remainer? I mean, did you vote Remain? My parents.
Do you know, I
didn't, but
honestly
okay.
can't remember. I honestly can't
that means you
remember.
voted to leave. Hello and welcome back to
Real English
with
Real teachers.
real teachers.
Today I'm in my hometown Bedford. I'm walking around by the river and today we are asking the Bedford public, where would you emigrate to after Brexit? Post-BREXIT, if you were to emigrate, where would you go?
France,
Okay. Why's that?
because I spent a lot of time there.
Probably Ireland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any reason for Ireland?
I've got Irish family connections, and Ireland still be in the EU. So I know a couple of people who have moved to Ireland, so that's probably the best bet. Yeah.
Safe option.
Yeah.
Well, the one country I would really like is Italy. Lovely down there.
I'd go somewhere warmer, better weather.
Okay, right. For example, what place comes to mind? Like springs to mind?
Seville?
Seville. All right.
Well, if Dad was going to Spain, perhaps we'd go to Spain too, because we can speak the language a little. Estudio Español.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Right. Would you then move to another place knowing that Mum is going?
Yeah, maybe a different city.
I wouldn't go to Seville.
Oh, okay, that's all right then.
If you were to emigrate,
Yep,
post-Brexit,
yep.
where would you go?
Somewhere in Europe. I feel I'm European. I'm a Remainer,
Okay.
absolute Remainer. As far as I'm concerned, there are no boundaries, and I hate this colonial British attitude
Okay.
that the Leavers seem to have.
America.
Okay. And
because
why?
the reason why I go to America, because for the different changes seasons. I was down in LA one year, and it's quite far south. They have a kind of mild winter there, and so if you don't want to be in LA, which has an Indian summer, which means that you get the sun coming up and then the sun going back down again.
Right.
If you don't want an Indian summer, you can go up to Oregon, up to the Canadian border, and up further into Canada.
Yeah,
I just think we have a reputation that the older generation are like the Leavers and the younger generation are the Remainers.
Right.
I don't think that's the case at all. I think that if you've travelled and experienced other cultures, you're far more of a sort of a citizen of the world
Totally.
than somebody who's kind of not.
You can have a house, say, in San Diego, and then a house up in north of Vancouver Island or something like that in Canada,
That would be nice.
on the American continent. Whereas us, you could say that we can only get down to St. Ives, in the British thing, in that sense, and up to Scotland.
If you were to emigrate post-Brexit or before it happens, where would you go?
I don't think I would.
Right, you'd stay.
I would stay in the UK because I think the UK has got an awful lot to offer. There's so much of it that the vast majority of people living here probably have never visited. If you were to push me into overseas, I would possibly say California, Canada,
Okay, right.
closer to home, France maybe,
Mm-hmm.
Italy, Europe somewhere probably.
Okay.
Well, they're lovely people, the Italians, to get on with, Plus, I go to an Italian hairdresser, have my hair cut, so I chat with him, and he says he's a very nice bloke. He was here during the war,
Right.
prisoner,
Wow.
and when the war finished, he got a job in the brick fields in Bedford. They used to make bricks here, by the million. And nice chap, but of course, like everybody, he's got old. And I'm getting old. Well, I am. No, I'm not getting old. I am old.
No, you're getting old. You're getting old. Hey guys, hope you're enjoying the video. You'll see loads of vocab is popping up in this video so that you can understand these native speakers while they're talking. What I've done is put all of that vocabulary into a lovely list of flashcards so that you can revise this vocabulary in your spare time. Just click the link in the description box which says flashcards and you'll get free access to that vocabulary. France and Italy, why did you go for them and not somewhere like Spain, for example?
I suppose Spain would figure too, but Italy, everybody says how lovely it is, and beautiful. France I've been to a few times, so I suppose it's familiarity, learn French at school. Yeah. Yeah, but as I say, I think I'd probably stay here.
Okay, good for you. But you said England, where would be like your top place to recommend one of my students go?
Oh my goodness. For your students to go to, oh my goodness, the Lake District, Northumbria, Cornwall, Devon, Dorset. We love Dorset, that's a beautiful county. There's just so much out there.
But for me, the ideal place in Europe is a place called Bordeaux, which is right on the 45-degree line, which is halfway between the North Pole and the equator. So they have we're up at about 51 here, where we are, Bedford, 52, you know, above Stonehenge, you know.
Right.
But Bordeaux's right on the 45 line, which means it has a nicely balanced 4 seasons, whereas here we have a longer winter because of being quite a bit north, you know, a bit further north, you know, so...
Probably the price of property would be the would be the biggest factor. I mean, I'd love the south of France, who wouldn't? But you know, Croatia's really come up, and a lot of the kind of Eastern European countries. So experience something different.
Are you a Remainer? I mean, did you vote Remain? My parents.
Do you know, I honestly can't remember. I honestly can't remember. But I think, like everybody else, I think there wasn't enough information out there.
Yeah.
And I think probably now, if I was pushed, I would probably stay Remain. Difficult one. I think leaving perhaps opens a lot of opportunities, but likewise, staying probably closes some as well. I don't know. I'm not politically minded.
It depends. It depends on the individual, you know, literally, about what they might like the cold weather. Other people might prefer baking hot, you know, it's up to the individual, you know. Yeah. But to live in Europe I don't know why people come to live in Britain if they can live in Europe, you know. Yeah. Because they can go right down to Spain and of course up to Sweden and everything like it, you know. But it's a very personal thing. It's up to the individual. So, but if I was to take birth, if I was to have a choice, if I was to come back and reincarnate, I would go probably live on the American continent. You know. Okay.
American continent. Yeah. Very nice.
Where would you emigrate to post-Brexit?
España. I would probably go to maybe Mallorca, like the north of Mallorca, or the Basque Country. Really like the Basque Country. I think. Yeah, really nice food, good people, mountains, countryside, gorgeous.
And what are you doing today?
I am walking along the river with my sister and my mother. Bye!
Bye!
So that's all for today, but I hope you found this video useful. I hope you've learned something new. Let me know what new expression you learned today down in the comments. And tell me, what questions would you like me to ask Bedfordians next time? See you later.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram to get more day-to-day posts and stories helping you learn English in more dynamic and interactive ways.